And this matter comes before the court today on a request for an order to show cause why Mr. Allen should not be held in contempt of court for two alleged violations of the court's personal protective order.
Justin English on behalf of Matthew Sisson, the petitioner.
Jake Lombardo appearing on behalf of Ralph Allen.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Lombardo. And gents, this is scheduled for an order to show cause this morning. I take it, Mr. Lombardo, because you're here, you're going to enter not guilty pleas. Normally, I would just simply advise Mr. Allen of his rights to that hearing and to be represented by an attorney. Is that your intention at this time, is to plead not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and then I guess the next question then would go to Mr. English. Mr. English, are we gonna proceed with the violation hearing at this time, or do we want to schedule that for a later date?
I'm happy to handle however the court wants. I'm prepared to proceed today if the court wants to.
You know, I have an hour blocked out for this morning, and otherwise, so why don't we get as far as we can in an hour, and I can rule on the alleged violations. So I'll let you proceed, Mr. English.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you like an opening statement, Your Honor?
Sure.
Okay, just briefly, there's two motions in order to show cause before the court today. The first is for several occasions where Mr. Allen has driven by my client's house after the ex parte order was issued and served on Mr. Allen, and he was aware that there was a restriction on him appearing before the residence of my client, and that there's video evidence of that. Mr. Sisson will testify to that. The second violation is Mr. Allen has a garage which is kitty corner to my client's house, and he has installed on July 21st a camera that points directly at my client's front door, and so that's my client's second request for a violation of the order.
Very good. Mr. Lombardo, do you wish to make an opening statement at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. With respect to the first allegation of the drive-bys, Mr. Allen, the court is going to see, is coming and going from his house in the normal course of his day. To hold him in contempt for driving to and from his house would be tantamount to requiring him to either be homeless or to shelter in place in his home and never leave. It does not matter which way he leaves his driveway or which way he leaves his garage. He's necessarily going to be in sight of Mr. Sisson's home, and the court will see that. We're going to introduce some evidence that demonstrates kind of an overhead view of the neighborhood to show it's simply impossible for Mr. Allen to operate in any normal fashion without being in sight of Mr. Sisson's home. What's more is it appears that Mr. Sisson at the time wasn't even outside of his house. He picked up these images on his surveillance cameras. Whether or not he knew it at the time or after the fact, I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out later today. With respect to the security cameras, the order entered in this matter does not prevent Mr. Allen from installing a security camera on his property. He has permission from the Homeowners Association to do this. It's common practice. It's one that we know Mr. Sisson engages in himself. And so you simply can't hold, with all due respect, an individual in contempt for an order that does not exist. And so we believe that that's what the evidence will bear out, Your Honor, and at the end of the day, the charges should be dismissed.
Very good. Thank you. And I guess with that, Mr. English, your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd call Mr. Sisson.
Very good. Mr. Sisson, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do, yes.
Thank you. You may proceed, Mr. English.
Thank you. Mr. Sisson, please state your name and spell your last name for the record.
Matthew Sisson, Sisson.
And Mr. Sisson, you obtained the personal protective order in this matter against Mr. Allen, is that correct?
I did.
And you filed the first motion order to show cause on or about, was it June 24th of this year?
Yes.
Why did you request for an order to show cause to hold Mr. Allen in contempt for violating the personal protection order?
At this particular time, we had a PPO that was in place and served, and Mr. Allen insisted on driving past my house during the time frame where before the first hearing where he was able to get that restriction removed. But during that time, he was driving past my house. He can leave his house and go the other direction and not pass my house. He does have that option, but instead he chooses to drive by my house. And in one of the videos, you'll see that he swerves to the left and drives kind of on the left side of the road as he makes the turn. Now, I'll address that in a minute. Go ahead.
That's fine. So, and you have video evidence of that you referenced in your motion, is that right?
I do.
And you identified those as exhibit C, D, and E. Do you recall
Correct.
that? Your Honor, may I share my screen?
You may.
See if I can. Want to, hopefully I can do this. All right, I'm going to start with exhibit C, Mr. Sisson. You guys, did the video pop up?
No, we just see the.
You don't see the video? Okay, hold on. Try this again. All right, now do you see the video?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make it bigger. This is the video marked exhibit C. Do you recall that?
Yes.
What is this? What is this video of?
This is a video of my front door and driveway, and Ralph's truck driving past.
Okay, so I haven't started it yet, but it looks like it's looking down the road. Is that towards Mr. Allen's house or away from Mr. Allen's house?
Away from Mr. Allen's house.
Okay, and then in the still here, there's a white pickup truck. It looks like it's maybe a GMC or a Chevy. Do you see that?
It's a GMC, yes.
And do you know whose vehicle that is?
That is Mr. Allen's.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna play the video. All right, and that video's got a date on the bottom of June 29, 2025. Do you see that?
June 22nd, yes.
I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. June 22nd, 2025. Is that a correct date for this video?
It is, and a correct time.
All right. All right, I got another video to show you here. Hold on if I can do it right. All right, you should see a video marked Exhibit D on your screen. Now, do you see that?
Yes.
All right, same GMC pickup, is that right?
Yes.
We'll play this video. And this is going away from Mr. Allen's house.
Yes.
And then this video's got a date of June 21st, 2025. Is that right?
It is correct.
That's the correct date?
Yes.
You said you saw in a video where he swerved left in one of them. Was it this one?
It was that one.
All right. I didn't see that. Let's watch that again. So you're saying he's going wide left turn there towards your house?
Yeah. See it right there.
All right. And then I think we have one more video of the drive-bys. Okay, do you see now one marked Exhibit E?
I do.
Okay, and this, again, same pickup truck, Mr. Allen's pickup truck?
Yes,
And it looks like he's again driving away from your house, driving away from his house past your house.
correct.
And you said that he could go the opposite direction from his house and not have to drive by your house?
Correct.
And then he'd be able to get out of the neighborhood?
Correct. He certainly would be further from my view than driving directly past my home.
All right, and then you also stated, you also have a motion requesting that he be held in contempt for violating the personal protection order for installing a security camera. What was that? What's the issue with that security camera?
So Mr. Allen installed a video camera that points directly at my house, directly at my front door. He can see into my garage. My problem with that is he can monitor my movements. He can see when I come and go. He can see when I'm home alone. He can see when my wife's home alone. And given the situation, I just think until there's been some time where Mr. Allen can be in the neighborhood and control his anger, that makes me very uncomfortable to have somebody who has that angry at me have a camera pointing directly at my home. If you'll see in the video that the camera is not mounted in the center of the garage door, nor is it mounted on the left corner where it could monitor the driveway of the garage and not my home. It's mounted in a particular spot so that allows it to point directly at my home. Now, the problem with, or the thing with mounting it in the place that it's mounted is that camera doesn't have a wide enough view that somebody could actually come up behind that camera and tear it down or cover it. And you wouldn't be able to capture that on the camera. If it was installed in the middle or even on the left side, you would not be able to walk up behind the camera and disable it. So the placement seems very purposeful. And this happened just 2 or 3 days after the motion to terminate was denied. Mr. Allen does not live in this home in Michigan full time. He is on record at our board meeting saying that he lives in Florida for months at a time. And he's never had a camera there pointing directly at my home before. But now all of a sudden, he does want one. I think the timing is very suspicious to me.
Okay, all right, so let's show the video here of you got Mr. Allen installing his camera. And this has got a number on the top, 175-312-4046. Do you see that?
I do.
And it's got a date at the bottom of July 21st, 2025. Is this the video of him installing this camera?
It is.
Okay, I'll play this. Now, what are we looking at? This is a camera on your house that you're recording with?
So this is a camera that since this PPO situation started, really since the situation with the motorcycle started, I have been pointing a camera out my front window.
Okay,
Right.
and that's Mr. Allen in the video right now up in
It
the garage.
is, and that is his garage.
Okay, that's not his house we're talking about.
Correct.
And his house, from the standpoint of this video, his house is to the right of this garage. Is that correct? Down the street.
Yeah, the silver truck is parked. That's his neighbor that shares his building. So his house is on the other side of that truck. Now that truck is typically parked there. So I'm typically not able to see Mr. Allen's front yard, his front door, or really in his garage. Nor do I really care to, but this camera went in place after the motorcycle incident.
Right. We had a hearing on July 18th on the motion to modify or terminate. And then
Correct.
this July 21st was 3 days later.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't know that we need to watch him install, but I can fast forward to here and we just see. He's working on
What
this.
I was explaining earlier is where it's being mounted now, you could walk up underneath it and not be actually on the camera and be able to disable it. The left side of that garage door opening, the building comes out a little bit. So the camera could have been mounted on the left side of the garage or even in the center, and it would better cover his property. But that would not cover my front door or my garage as well.
Okay, and I think that's about it. He's done installing it. You can't really see here, but we have some close-up video stills, right? Still pictures.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so let's show those. Okay, so we have two images. These are images that you took.
Yes,
Photos. And this is after the camera was installed.
correct.
Do you see that photo there? It's kind of farther back. Is there a photo on your screen?
Yes, there is.
Okay. And so this is a photo you took. When did you take this photo?
I believe it would have been the same day. I called the Wyoming police to have them make a record of it. And while the police officer was there, I walked up to the garage to take these two photos.
Okay, so you got that one. And so are you in the public right away? Are you in his driveway? Where are you at?
I'm standing on it's a visitor parking spot.
All right. The other photo. You got a zoomed in photo just so we can see that it is actually a camera. Is that the same corner of the garage you're talking about?
Yes.
And you can see in there that that's the camera that was installed.
Yep.
All right, and you're asking the court to hold Mr. Allen in contempt for violating the PPO for these reasons?
Yes.
Thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor. Whoops.
Cross-examination, Mr. Lombardo.
Yes, Your Honor. If I could share my screen.
You may.
Should be seeing an overhead map of the neighborhood.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Sisson, would you agree with me that this is an overhead view of your neighborhood?
It is.
And where my cursor is down here, this is your building, correct?
Correct.
And where my cursor is here, this is Mr. Allen's building, correct?
Correct.
And where my cursor is now, this is Mr. Allen's garage, right?
Yes.
We just lost your
now-
screen share. Wait, was that intentional, Mr. Lombardo?
What's that, Your Honor?
Did you cut away from your screen share intentionally?
I did. I just wanted to
Okay.
give the court an overview of what the neighborhood looked like. That was all.
Understood. Thank you.
Mr. Sisson, your allegations, as I understand them, and I think you testified to, are Mr. Allen's truck drove by your house on a number of occasions, and Mr. Allen has installed security cameras on his garage. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
In each of these instances, I want to talk about the truck first, in which his truck passes by your house. You're not outside in these instances, are you?
No, but I did personally see the first time it happened. That's how I knew to look.
So then for the other times, so you physically saw his truck from inside your home.
Correct. I was sitting at my dining room table.
And then the other instances, your video camera caught him, and you realized later that he had also driven by your house on those instances, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Were you able to tell who was driving the vehicle?
The first time, yes, I could see that Mr. Allen was driving the vehicle.
And for the other two times, including the time where the vehicle swerves kind of to the left, you don't know who was driving?
That is correct. I do not know who was driving those times.
Isn't it true that if you're standing outside your house and you're in your driveway, and Mr. Allen is outside of his house and he's in his driveway, assuming there's no vehicles or anything in between you, you'll necessarily be in sight of one another. Is that right?
There is typically always a vehicle in between us, but yes, we would be able to see each other.
And isn't it true that it would be, assuming no vehicles in between your homes, it would be impossible for Mr. Allen to come and go from his house without being in sight of your house?
I will agree with that, yes.
And it would be impossible for Mr. Allen to use his garage without being in sight of your house, correct?
That is also correct.
Since this PPO has been issued, which was roughly 3 months ago, Mr. Allen, I want you to confirm for me that Mr. Allen has not done any of these things. To your knowledge, Mr. Allen has not followed you, has he?
Specifically, Mr. Allen has not followed me, no.
He has not come to your place of work, wherever that might be.
No, he has not.
He's not stepped foot on your property as far as you know.
No, he has not.
He's not confronted you in public.
No, he has not.
He's not confronted you in private.
No, he has not.
He's not stepped foot on a property, any other property that you may or may not own, to your knowledge.
Not that I know of.
He's not sent you mail of any kind.
He has not.
He's not called you.
He has not.
He's not placed any objects on your property as far as you know.
He has not.
He's not threatened you in any way.
He has not.
You've had no actual direct contact or really even indirect contact with Mr. Allen in the last 3 months, have you?
Well, it would be the last 2 months, but other than him driving by my house the one time, no.
And other than him just coming and going from his house in the normal course, he hasn't really even appeared within your sight, has he?
Well, it's hard to do that from Florida.
And your understanding is that's where Mr. Allen spends the majority of his time, right?
According to what he's told our board meeting, what he said in our board meetings, and the PPO officer that he spoke with that was trying to serve him the second show cause order.
Have you reviewed the actual PPO that you're trying to enforce here?
Yes.
Do you see on it anywhere where it says Mr. Allen can't install security cameras on his property?
It does not say that, no.
You certainly have your own security cameras, right? That would catch him coming and going from his garage. We've seen that, right?
The one I have up all the time would not be able to see him, but the one I have specifically for this situation, which is temporary, does have the ability to see him.
Yeah, and that's saying we saw that view. I mean, you could see him coming and going from his house as well, right?
If I looked at it, I would be able to.
Okay. With respect to Mr. Allen's camera, you don't actually know what that camera is monitoring, do you?
I'm pretty sure it's monitoring my house.
Yeah, you can guess, but you don't actually know. I mean, you don't even know if the thing's on, right?
I don't know if it's on, no.
And you're talking about the view of the camera, but you don't actually know, assuming that it is on, what it actually picks up and what it does not. Is that right?
That I do not know.
Yeah.
I do know that camera does not have a very, it is a wide view lens that's in that camera. So it would, and I've owned one of those, of that brand camera before. I didn't like it very much, but it is a camera that has a wide view lens. So if it's pointing from where it's pointing, it would be able to, if it's configured in some way that it's not recording movement from my home, that may be true, but I have no way to confirm or deny that.
Yeah, the truth be told, other than the fact that you know there's a camera hanging there, you don't know anything about it. You don't know what it's picking up, what it's not, etc.
Correct.
Are you aware that Mr. Allen has other security cameras that predate this dispute?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I approved them when I was on the board.
Yeah. And he's had those for a number of years, right?
Not a number of years. He's had them for about 2.
We've seen from your security camera footage, and we've all seen, you know, I had some break-ins in my neighborhood last night, and there's Ring camera footage all over the place from other homes. It's not uncommon for security cameras to pick up other houses in the neighborhood, right?
No, it's not uncommon. Mine does as well.
Yeah. I have no further questions. Thank you, Your Honor.
Very good. Any redirect, Mr. English?
No redirect, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, all right, and I don't have any um questions either, so thank you, Mr. Sisson. You may step down from the witness stand. Any additional witnesses or evidence to present, Mr. English?
No additional evidence, Your Honor. We would rest.
Very good. Mr. Lombardo, do you have any witnesses or evidence?
No, Your Honor.
Very good. Then I think we're to the time for a closing argument.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just want to address first Mr. Lombardo's argument that the security camera is not prohibited specifically in the ex parte personal protection order. I agree that it doesn't say no security cameras, but it does say that there's not to be any stalking, and the laws define stalking as a willful course of conduct involving repeated or continuing harassment of another individual that would cause a reasonable person to feel terrorized, frightened, intimidated, threatened, harassed, or molested, and that actually causes the victim to feel terrorized, frightened, intimidated, threatened, harassed, or molested. And I think installing a camera pointed at the petitioner's house when there was not a camera before any of this was involved, any PPO was requested or any hearings were had. He waits 3 days until after the last hearing in this matter and installs one on his garage, pointing at my client's house. I think is the definition of stalking, which is prohibited in the ex parte order. Also driving by the house. Mr. Allen was aware that he couldn't drive by the house. It was in the order, and he did it. He continued to do it. He continued to violate the order. We'd ask that the court hold him in contempt.
And is it your argument that he can go a different direction, Mr. English, and avoid? It looked to me like that street went both ways. I suppose by taking the straightforward step of going the other way, that he could avoid driving past the house.
It is. He's got the whole neighborhood to drive around the other way. I don't know if it's less convenient, what it may be. Obviously, the court changed the order at the last hearing to allow him to do that. But these violations are all before that last hearing, and I think he certainly could have gone that way. I think he chose not to intentionally, and disregarded the court's order.
All right. Response, Mr. Lombardo.
Thank you, Your Honor. With respect to driving past the house, the issue is, can he operate in a way that would avoid him appearing within sight of Mr. Sisson? And the reality is that he can't. With respect to going one way or the other, we actually saw in the video that Mr. Sisson has of Mr. Allen installing the security camera. At the end of that video, he's pulling out of his garage, and his garage is directly across the road from Mr. Sisson's home.
Well, when I advise people on these, Mr. Lombardo, I always say, if you're going to go towards the other person, then that's usually going to be a mistake. If you're going to go away from the other person, then that's usually going to be compliant with the order. Why wouldn't he choose to go in the other direction when he pulls it? Granted that he has to be seen and that I changed the order for that reason, but knowing the order is in place, why wouldn't he just simply go the opposite direction to avoid even the threat of a confrontation?
Couple of things, Your Honor. The first is that Mr. Sisson testified in none of these situations was he outside. So my client I think it's fairly reasonable to look and say, okay, is he standing at the end of his driveway? Yes. All right, that might be an issue. In each of these cases, Mr. Sisson testified he was inside of his home. And my client obviously doesn't know what he's able to see and what he's not able to see when he's inside of his house. What is more is this is the point I was getting to, is there really is not a more or less direct route when we're talking about Mr. Allen's garage. And the difference between him coming towards Mr. Sisson's house and going away from it's pretty de minimis. I mean, we're talking, a few feet here or there. So it just seems immaterial when it comes to the fact that he does have to just leave his home. He has to get from A to B in some way, shape, or form. And I think we have to look at, okay, what's he actually doing? Is he driving by his house and using it as an opportunity to kind of mess with Mr. Sisson? Is he slowing down? Is he rolling his window down? Is he gesturing? Is he beeping? He's just driving down the road, and he's doing it when nobody is outside of Mr. Sisson's house, and he has no way of believing anybody is outside of Mr. Sisson's house. People drive by my house all the time. When I'm inside, I have no clue what's going on. And so I think it's disingenuous to say that that's a pattern of conduct that would actually cause Mr. Sisson to feel frightened, Your Honor. He's just going about his day. That's it. With respect to the cameras, there's simply no evidence that those cameras are doing anything, that it's picking up anything, that it's surveilling Mr. Sisson. There's nothing to suggest that that's the truth. And even if that was the case, Your Honor, this is not a prohibited act. People are allowed to surveil their property. Mr. Allen was preparing to leave for Florida at this time. And so it's not unreasonable to think that he would want to keep an eye on his property. He has legitimate concerns himself about his safety and his welfare and the safety of his property, as was demonstrated in the first hearing in this matter, where he was threatened by Mr. Sisson. So there are legitimate reasons, and even if there weren't, this is not a prohibited act, Your Honor. So these are serious allegations, and to hold that my client in contempt for just driving into his driveway and doing nothing else, Your Honor, I would submit would be maybe a bridge too far. So I don't believe that, I have to remind the court, the petitioner has the burden of proof here. I don't believe the petitioner has even come close to meeting him.
All right. Well, the violations here, I'll take them one at a time. The first violation is driving past the house, and I'll note that the petitioners and the respondent are close neighbors in a subdivision where, as pointed out by both counsel, they inevitably are within sight of each other, coming and going out of their homes and garages. And for that reason, I deleted the term within sight of the other person at the last hearing, which was in July. These allegations, and specifically the one that Mr. Sisson testified he was at home for, occurred on June 22nd of 2025, where Mr. Allen drove past his house. And that's, that was the one where he was testified he was at home at his table. There were also two other occasions on the 21st and the 23rd of June where Mr. Allen drove past the house, thereby, of course, closing the distance and being, even more within sight, arguably, of Mr. Sisson. Now, the question then becomes, well, does he know that Mr. Sisson's home? Is it an intentional act? And there's where I can't make a determination beyond a reasonable doubt that happened, because, of course, even with Mr. Sisson at his table, it's not as if he's standing on his front porch or in his drive with a cup of coffee, something along those lines, and Mr. Allen makes some sort of threatening gesture or action towards him. He does drive past the house, arguably could go in the other direction, and, arguably under the terms of the protective order, should have gone in the other direction because of the then within sight restriction. However, I hadn't had the attempt to clarify that yet at the July hearing. And here, the standard is, would it place a reasonable person feeling threatened? And a reasonable person, even sitting at their table, is not going to be threatened by driving past. And notably, and as pointed out by counsel in this case, when Mr. Allen was driving by, he didn't pause, screech his tires, honk his horn, roll down his window and flip the bird, the normal conduct that I see in violating and finding violations of my protective order. Thus, I can't find, because the standard is, because Mr. Allen is in danger of being confined in the Kent County Jail for this, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. I just can't find beyond a reasonable doubt that his actions were in an intentional violation of the personal protective order. As pointed out by counsel, he is not certain that Mr. Sisson is home at the time because he can't see his person outside the residence. And of course, the appearing within sight restriction now lifted, doesn't mean within sight of the residence, or and couldn't mean in this case, because then Mr. Allen would be confined to his own residence, essentially. It's only within sight of the other person. Now, if Mr. Sisson had been outside, visible to Mr. Allen, he still chose to drove by, then that's a different case, but that wasn't the situation here. So I'm going to find that in all three of those instances, I can't find beyond a reasonable doubt that there was a violation of the court's order. In number two, we have the question of a video camera. that Mr. Sisson testified is aimed directly at his home. And of course, you know, as counsel pointed out, we don't know for that matter if the video camera is operable or operating, nor do we know its field of view or exactly what it's recording. Could it be arguably construed as, you know, what Mr. Sisson's encouraging the court to do through counsel in that it's an intimidation or harassment tactic? Well, I guess it could, but in the strict language of the order, it's not a prohibited action. Now, I will note that in the world of video cameras, of course, the key is do they serve primarily the purpose of surveilling one's own property, or do they intrude upon another person's expectation of privacy? And of course, that privacy is you know, best exemplified by perhaps a bedroom or a bathroom or a fenced-in backyard with a hot tub or something like that. Well, those places normally should not be surveilled by video cameras, even if they, you know, arguably serve some security purpose. However, I can't find in this case, beyond a reasonable doubt, that surveillance camera as placed, you know, certainly reasonably could also be surveilling Mr. Sisson's own, or I'm sorry, Mr. Allen's own garage and drive area, where he would have a reasonable purpose in doing so. Also note, you know, they kind of have a double-edged sword. If he does pick up, you know, Mr. Sisson's comings and goings, I guess Mr. Allen can make the argument on the flip side, and I've heard it made in other cases that, well, I want to know when they're out there so that I don't violate my PPO by accidentally walking towards them when they're outside their residence themselves. So again, because of the you know, situation of the two being within sight of each other, I think there is inevitably going to be some overlap or, you know, the video camera and what's being videoed. In these situations, arguably, I guess it makes the whole neighborhood safer because, of course, I do know from the shooting cases that I unfortunately preside over regularly that's SOP now for law enforcement is to go collect ring camera footage and audio from. In fact, the last murder I presided over, I believe there was ring camera footage of the shooter saying someone's got to kill that guy. So, you know, they do have some purpose that goes even beyond in that when those cameras are out there, they protect generally everyone's safety because of course, if there's an unknown vehicle or suspicious activity at anyone's house, the camera might pick it up, and criminals fortunately have become aware of that, and hopefully it'll reduce criminal activity across the board. So I can't find, in short, that second camera is a violation beyond a reasonable doubt either. So the two violations are dismissed. At this time, the order does remain in effect, and I do expect, you know, strict compliance with its terms until its expiration date, at which time I'll reconsider whether or not it warrants an extension or not.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
Will
you,
the court
Your Honor.
prepare an order? Would you like me to?
I believe we have a form order. Don't we send out a form, Lisa, or should we have Mr. Lombardo send us one?
We have a form.
Yeah, we have a form that we do after this is kind of a form-based area. So we'll prepare the order and send it out to all council.
Very
Thank
good.
you,
Thank
Your
you, Your Honor.
Thanks, gentlemen. Very
Thank you,
clearly
Your Honor.
presented. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.